Hey, it's Kenny from Broadsheet. Let's talk about all that tedious work you might be doing as a solopreneur or a small publisher and how to reclaim some of that time over the course of the day. So a lot of times when you're first getting started out, there may be some things that you didn't know you could do that would make your life a whole lot easier. So as a business owner, we always have an overflow of things that we could do. Every time we sit down to do one thing, we have some other fire that breaks out or something that we have to do, a story we have to go cover. What are some things that we can do to make our life easier? You may have heard the phrase delegate and elevate. So if you delegate some of these mundane tasks to either somebody else or a process, it's going to make your life a little easier, allow you to work on the things that are really going to push your company forward. We say delegate, automate, and then elevate. Right? So there are some things that we don't necessarily have to hire someone for. We could just automate with software and they're going to make things so much easier. So the first thing to think about is automate your newsletter. If you don't have a newsletter, you should have one, something that's consistently going out to your readers. But what we find is that a lot of publishers are manually sending out a newsletter, maybe once a week or 3 times a week or whatever they can manage, but they're doing it manually. One of the beautiful features of MailChimp is the RSS merge, the ability to pull in content from your website, meaning maybe the latest 5 stories, and automatically sending those out to your readers. What you really want to be doing is doing that automatically every day, building up your newsletter list, having that automatically get sent out and driving traffic back to your website. It's a set it and forget it. You don't have to think about anymore. So check that out if you haven't already. Although it sounds complicated, it's actually pretty easy to set up, just a few clicks inside MailChimp. The next thing you want to be doing, if you aren't already, is automating your advertising with an ad manager. This is one of the things that Broadsheet really specializes at. You don't want to be in a position where every time you have a new advertiser on board, you're logging into the website, getting their ad in place on the day it's supposed to start, and then kind of making a little calendar and taking them down and moving people around. This is way too much time to be spending on doing something that could be automated. These are minutes, which eventually become hours, which eventually become days over the course of the month, that you're spending not really pushing your company forward. You could be writing a bigger article, you could be securing a new advertiser, or at least developing a relationship with one. We don't want to be doing something that software does for a relatively low cost. Next thing that we want to do is use a CRM. If you don't use one already, a contact relationship manager. This is really when it comes to sales. A lot of times when publishers are just getting started, they're kind of like one-off. Maybe they have a list of advertisers they want to get on board and they're just sending out emails, calling people up, trying to get conversations started. If you use something like a CRM, and a really nice and free one is called Streak. It's a plugin for Gmail. You just install it in your browser, Google Chrome, and you have a nice CRM right inside your inbox. If you use a CRM, you can get all of your prospects lined up and move them through pipelines. So all the people I didn't reach out to yet, all the people I did start a conversation with, all the people I'm trying to get a meeting with, and all the people that might be waiting on a proposal, just being methodical, organized with a CRM is going to help you be more efficient and also automate some of the tasks that you've been doing manually. The next thing you can be doing is maybe hiring a virtual assistant or maybe an intern or someone to do some of the things that you don't want to be doing. So it could be tracking down an advertiser and trying to get that check that they owe us. Or it could be just doing the initial reach out to potential advertisers. Or it could be taking events that were submitted by readers and putting them on our website. If we're doing this, we're not doing things that push our company forward. We want to get that onto someone else's plate as soon as possible. As you delegate this kind of stuff, it gives you more time to work on our business and not in our business. Not my phrase. It's well known in the business space. That's what you want to be doing. Lastly, an easy one, there has been an explosion of payment processing companies, Square and Stripe and Intuit. Notably, get your advertiser's credit card on file. Make it part of the agreement and make it understandable to the advertiser that you don't want to have to track them down for a check at the beginning or the end of their campaign. Get their card on file and make it so that you can run that card and not just be waiting on a check, going to the bank, cashing checks. This is something that can be completely automated. So automating your newsletter, automating your advertising, using a CRM, delegating and elevating to someone else who can pick up some of those mundane tasks, and getting our advertisers' payment information on board is going to give us so much more time. Definitely a few days worth of time. It's going to give it back to us so we can work on our business.